What's happening, guys? You're back with me, Jazz, at Endless Road, and we're working on the campervan again today. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I got a bit disheartened with the van in the last episode, so I haven't done much on it lately because of the absolute mess of the floor that happened. And to take my mind off it, I've gone on to the next subject. So I've ordered a load of bits and bobs. I've opened this just to check it, but I haven't opened it. So the first thing is we got a light bar. I did want a 50-inch one.
Oh, behave.
But I'll explain why in a minute. I've gone for this 30-inch one instead. I think it'll more than be capable. So that's that, and then I assume the brackets and stuff in there, and we got a little booklet in here. And I got this from these dudes at Wowled. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I've fully paid for it and everything like that. And I've also got, which I'll open in a second, some spotlights for the back of them as well. And although I thought these were made by them, but they're apparently not. The wiring looms from. So yeah, the reason why I went for these Wowled spotlights and light bars and stuff is, well, like I said, I was looking for a 50-inch light bar. Every one I clicked on, the amount of like bad reviews they had. Don't get me wrong, they had good reviews as well, but just every one of them seemed to have an abundance of bad reviews. And this is all off Amazon. Things like LED, the actual bulbs failing, so there's ones missing, water getting into it and stuff. So these Wowled ones are the only ones I could find, I think to my knowledge, with no negative reviews. So I thought, right, I'm gonna go for them ones. And same for the spotlights for the rear as well. They didn't have any bad reviews. So I thought I'll get them all matching. We got brackets for them ones. And then, yeah, these ones, little diddy ones for the back, for when you got the kitchen out, and you're cooking out the back, so you can cook at night time if you wanted to. Attract some bears and wolves and stuff.
Lions, the tigers, the bears. Oh my.
Upon first glance, yeah, looks all really good. No plasticky bits, it's all made out of metal. I assume it's all anodized. I can't see no shoddy workmanship yet, so that's all good. Not quite sure how they fit. We'll have a look at that later. So yeah, that's the light bar and the spotlights. I will try my best for them to do like a review on them after I've used them for a bit. Whether it be like, I don't know, a month review, 6-month review, depends on how long I keep the van for, innit? And then I got the wiring looms to make it easier to plug them in and stuff. We got a switch there, a relay, load of wires, a fuse, a load more wires. Yeah. So, and it comes with spare fuses and wiring diagrams as well. So I got two of them, one for the front, one for the back. They're designed to run pairs. So they're perfect for my rear spotlights. So as far as I'm aware, this side of the loom, which has got these white and black wires, these go to the wires that are on the end of the spotlights. So they connect into there, red to white and black to black. Then we got the switch, and it's got a negative there that connects to the battery, and then there's a red wire at the end of it that connects to the battery, and then coming off of the relay we got a red and a black, and they go to the battery as well. And that's basically it. Looks far more complicated than it actually is, but the only thing is, because we got a single light bar on the front, we only need one of these. So I can either chop the other one off, or I can tape it up and leave it there for future expansion of the system. Whether you maybe if I wanted to fit another 30-inch light bar on the front, or the next owner wants to fit one, then it's there ready for them. The only thing I think I'm gonna have to do, whether it's for both, I don't know, but I'm thinking definitely the rear spotlights. So we'll have the switch up at head height, and then that wire there then has to be connected to the battery. Well, the battery's at the front of the vehicle, so that ain't gonna go all the way there, is it? So that one has to be connected. Why they only put it that long and then all the rest is this long, I don't know. And then obviously the cables for the actual spotlights would be that long as well. So yeah, we've only got about that length, really. So yeah, we're gonna have to extend them to go to the front of the vehicle, which is a pain in the ass. And to fit these spots located in the back, you've got two nuts.
These nuts?
That can't come out. And then you've got a bracket like that. So that hole there is the mount that then goes to the vehicle, and then these two long slots are what connects to these two nuts on the back. So you can angle the spotlights depending on when you tighten these two bolts up that goes into these nuts. So I want it kind of angled down a bit. They give you 4 of these little Allen key bolts. I think they're M5. I'm not sure why they give you 4 when there's only 2 nuts, maybe spares. And then they give you some washers and spring washers. So I'll put all them on. So they're on now. I haven't tightened them up yet. So just slacken them off a bit. See, you can move it left to right, and you can move it up and down like that, which will then change the angle of the spotlight like that. Hope that makes sense. Right, learn from my mistakes. The bolts for the mounting go in first. Damn it. So I gotta undo them again now. Now they're in. Yeah, put the bolts in first. The main mounting bolts. Put them through the holes, and then you can screw the brackets on. So now, I bet you I'm gonna have to take them off again now. And the reason for that, and this has just become apparent to me, the supply bolts that come with the spotlights, they're not long enough to go through this. So, and I can't fit like a rivet or anything because the bolts are secured inside the mounting bracket. So there's no way of tightening them up. You'd have to turn the spotlight, well then it might not point in the right direction once it's tight. So you do need to have the bolt going all the way through and have a nut on the end. So I'm going to have to get some bigger bolts than the ones supplied to go all the way through. Nothing's ever straightforward, is it? Why don't they stick longer bolts in it? Stick longer bolts in, and then, you know, if they're too long, then you can cut them down. You can't extend them, can you? It's pretty much the same installation on the front light bar, except you've got like these block things here first. So you've got the same bolts that slide along this rail, and then you've got these blocks that then Allen key into there. And if you look on the side of there, I'm sure if you can see, there's threads inside of it. See? But then you got 3 of these, and they sit over that, and a bolt goes through them into those threads, and you can alter the angle of the light bar that way. I managed to find some bigger bolts, but they're not the same size length. So one is perfect for going to the roof rack, but the other one's a little bit too long. So I'm just going to cut the one down so it matches the other, and then we got 2 bolts the right length. 3rd time lucky on the rear spotlights. So those 2 bolts now are long enough to go right the way through my roof rack. So far that's my only negative. They could have included some either longer bolts or 2 sets, maybe some short ones like they did, like them ones, and some longer ones as well, and then you can choose which ones you need. As I mentioned before, you gotta fit these black and white cables to the end of the spotlight cables. I'm not really sure how to connect these, because on the wiring loom you've got these spade connectors that have got little plastic sheaths on them. Not sure how waterproof they're meant to be, and on the ends of the spotlights it's just 2 bare wires. So all I've put on there at the moment is the male versions of those spade connectors. I don't really like it, to be honest, so they might just be for demo purposes now, to just test it's all working and stuff, and then at a later date I can put something a bit better on there. So before we can start drilling holes in the roof rack, we need to know where we want them. So I've measured from there to there the width of the roof rack, halved it and then halved it again, which gave me these marks here and here. So just need to drill them with a pilot hole now, and then elongate the holes up to whatever width the bolts are, which I think is this drill bit here, and then we should be able to bolt them through. Just gotta be careful when drilling through double skins that aren't right next to each other. You don't move the drill or anything, because you could snap the drill bit.
So you better go take it. Always they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it.
Right, let's do a test bit. We're through the one hole. Why isn't it going through the next one? Ah, there we go. Okay. I think what I'll do is put a bit of sealer around there as well to stop anything rusting, and I might put a little bit underneath that as well to stop any water from getting into the roof rack. We don't want it rusting from the inside out. I put a bit of sealer on there, top and bottom, and I've drilled the other hole out. I put way too much sealer on there as well. So there we are. Got it all over my finger. It's all over the flipping thread now as well.
Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make
Put the nut on the end.
We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
And then just tighten it up.
Yeah, I think that we've all had enough.
Would be better if I had a socket and ratchet for that, but I don't know where it is. Thrown it somewhere in the unit and can't find it. I'm just using a spanner. Just gonna tighten that up so it doesn't move. You could keep on tightening that, but I reckon it would start to crush the inside of the roof rack, which I don't want to do. Now we'll put the other one on. Putting a spring washer on the bottom of these as well. Comes with the kit, so it theoretically shouldn't work loose. All mounted up. Now we just go wire them up. And depending on when you started watching my channel, it might be this video you started watching my channel. But if you go, it might even be the first video. I had already done a few bits to the van before I started even doing YouTube, and I think the roof vent was in, and also these cable pass-throughs. So that is where the wires are gonna go, through there to connect to the battery of the van. So I think the only thing left to do now is to connect it to some power. So like I tested the other things out, the inside lights, I got this little battery here. No, I'm no expert on electrics, but I'm pretty sure you connect the positives up first. So, oof, flipping heck. Well, they work. It came on then. How did it come on? They're on. Whether the switch works or not. Yay! They work. So there's my switch. This is where I get blinded now. Boosh. See, they're plenty bright. Whether they're illuminating this area good enough for cooking in, I don't know. So I've just cable tied the cables to the roof rack to keep them neat and tidy. The only thing in doing this test run, obviously all this wiring needs to be inside, but I can't do that yet because I've gone and put the ceiling back in for one of the ceiling videos to show that all finished. So that end ceiling panel needs to come back down now, so I can route all of this from the inside. So these two wires and these two here come out of this way. I can't feed them in that way because obviously there's the fuse and the relay and switch and stuff. So it all needs to come outwards this way and then be connected to the spotlights. Onto the front light bar. So the first thing you gotta do is tighten down these bolts here, and like we were on about getting the main mounting bolts through, it is actually easier or better if we leave them out for now, and I'll show you why now. So yeah, tighten them up first. I just measured about a thumb's width away from the edge of that, so it only matters on this side, just so this is hard while holding it with one hand, just so these bolts here don't foul on the wiring loom for it. So just brought it inwards a bit so they don't hit that, and then just did that one on that side to match, and then this one is central. What I've done is place that onto the frontmost part of the roof rack, and see where the holes are for the main mounting bolts. When that is rested onto that beam of the roof rack, I've just put a pen through the hole, and where is it, marked out there, there and there. That's where I got to drill. So I lined the middle one up with this middle part of the roof rack, so I know it's central. So same process as on the rear. Drill 3 pilot holes and then make them larger for the bolts to go through. I do believe these bolts are one size up from the rear ones though, so they may be M10 or something. I don't know for sure. So I've had to get a different drill bit for them. At least on this part though, we don't have to drill through double skins. The only thing I have to be careful with is not to smash the end of the drill bit into the roof of the van, or even worse, go right through the ceiling of the van. When I'm drilling through this to make the hole bigger, I'm just putting a tool behind it, just so I don't stab into the roof of the van. Probably block of wood be better. That did the job. And another thing I might want to point out whilst you're doing things like this on the roof of the van, don't be kneeling on the roof of the van or standing on the roof of the van. Put all your weight on the roof rack, because these van roofs are flimsy as hell. I just slipped slightly and put my foot on the roof of the van and it's dented it. The roof of the van was dented already before I even bought the van anyway, but I did try and push them all out. But yeah, don't be standing on it, you will crush it. So just going to put a bit of sealer around the edge of them. Yeah, no gloves on, and a bit on the underneath as well. So now it's just a case of plonking it on again. Hopefully they all line up. I should have checked first, we might have to make the flipping holes bigger. Whoa, that was lucky. Damn it. Might have to make the holes bigger. Right, I've just drilled the holes bigger and put some more sealer on. But in doing that, we had a bit of a boo-boo. So, like I said before, put something underneath where you're drilling, which I did, but then I slipped, the drill bit in, and because it's a bigger drill bit, it bit in flipping hard, and it slipped off the thing I had underneath, and it's gouged the roof of the van, and put a tiny dent in it as well. Because I've wrapped the roof, the good thing about that is that it can be easily touched up, and because it's like a satin finish as well, you won't really notice the dent. But if that wasn't wrapped, then we'd be in the shit. So be careful, don't say I didn't warn you. Big gutted it happened, but there we are. Right, take 2. Now we gotta get some nuts and washers on the back of them and try not to fall off the edge of the van in doing so. Oh, this is awkward as hell. Doing this left-handed. The edge of the roof rack's in the way, and I got sealer all over my fingers. Good thing is, you only have to use one spanner, because in the bracket there's little locators, so just make sure the bolt is located in them, and then it won't spin, and you can just tighten the nut up as you will. Good thing with that, because there's only one skin, you can tighten it up tight. Right, it's on. The only thing I have to do is tighten up these bolts to set the angle of it. Look at it. Like I just said, I need to tighten up the bolts to alter the angle. Now, I've never fitted a light bar before, so I'm not exactly sure what angle it's meant to be. So, I'm just gonna aim it downwards, I think, slightly, so it doesn't blind people. Although, common sense, you're probably not meant to have it on when oncoming traffic is coming at you. It's only for going down dark country lanes or off-roading. I'm stuck down the side of the van at the moment because we're quite busy in the workshop with customer cars, so I've had to move the van over. So I went from having a lot of space around the van to not a lot at all. So I've wired up the light bar the same way as I did the rear, and I've just done it temporarily. The battery is still up on the roof, and I've got the switch dangling down by here. So let's have a look when I switch it on. Hopefully I got it angled nicely. Ooh, that's good, isn't it? I think that looks really good. I'm quite happy with the 30-inch one actually. So obviously you'll only get the full extent of it when it's dark. Yeah, it's blinding me, that is. I just noticed the switch lights up as well, so that's quite cool. A thing I noticed afterwards as well, there is another bag inside the box with the wiring loom thing, and there's little waterproof spade connectors there I didn't even notice. So I'll probably have to take off the ones I put on the ends of the rear spotlights and put them on instead, and hopefully that should be alright. I think if it's in the pack, it should be. I'll double check with my mate who's an electrician first. They're in the yard as well, so I'll just run it by them to see if that's a suitable solution for waterproofing the wire that's on the looms for the front and the rear. But that'll probably be for another video, or I'll just do it and then show you what I've done in another video, in an update video, because like I said, I gotta take the roof panel out. I haven't got to do it on the front though. I can still get to the cable pass-through that's on the front, because I haven't put the OEM bit of trim that goes in between the front headliner and my plywood ceiling in the back, so you can just about see it, so it should be okay there. So I think that's about it for this video. I do have some more stuff to do on the roof rack, might be in the next video, but yeah, they're on now, and the front one. Let me know what you think. I'll stick the links to these pair in the description. So if you click on the link and buy a set, then I get a couple of pence or something. I haven't even worked out what I actually get yet. So we'll see how Wow LED or Wowled, however you pronounce it, I don't know. We'll see if the positive reviews that they had are on the button, I suppose. Yeah, I'm happy with them so far anyway. They do the job, they light up and they haven't fallen apart or anything, but yeah, time will tell on that. If you've got any questions about the installation or anything else actually, pop them in the comments and I'll answer them at the end of the next video. If I've helped you out in any way, then consider buying me a coffee. Link for that is in the description as well. And apart from that, click on the like button if you liked it. Click on the subscribe button. We only need a few more to go before I hit the 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe it actually. So hopefully that'll be soon. And yeah, I'll catch you next one. I was gonna jump off the top rung then, but I would have probably snapped my ankle.